Okay, guys, we had a few technical difficulties, but here we are live finally, and we're going to talk about Rachel's master bedroom from Westlake, Ohio. But first, in case you guys don't know who we are Heather and Aaron from Pink Wall Designs, an interior design company, a virtual interior design company for every host, every home, and every budget. And we focus on strategic swaps rather than like full-blown renovations. So this is definitely for you if you just want to make your room feel different, but you don't have a $20K budget to like rip out your walls and all of that stuff. Okay, but let's get into it. So this is Rachel from Westlake, Ohio. This is her master bedroom. And Erin, let's talk about the diagnosis. What needs to change?
Yeah, so first glance, I mean, it's looking a little cool. It's very like that gray, kind of blue, not so homey feeling and welcoming. The curtains, classic. We see this all the time. They're way too short. They should be lightly dusting the floor. So those absolutely are going to be a swap that you want to stick around for. And it's just lacking personality. I think there's no real vision or like design thought to this place. It kind of just looks like a bunch of random pieces plopped into a room. And we want to be more intentional with how we're designing the master bedroom here.
Quick pause right there. Totally agree. But we forgot to tell you guys a little piece of the puzzle. So we're going to be obviously transforming this room, but Rachel has a budget, and she's also shared with us where she thinks the budget should go and where she thinks it's going to give the biggest transformation. So let's just take a quick look at what she said. So she says, "Hi ladies, I'd like your thoughts on my master bedroom. I have a budget of $2,000 and I think replacing the carpet with hardwood and potentially replacing the bed frame will really transform the space." And I think, I mean, when you can rip out carpet, great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're ever against that. But for $2,000, that's going to eat a lot of that budget. And we're hoping to give this more of like an overall transformation rather than just more individual upgrades, because that's not really going to do anything for the feel of the room.
Yeah. The flooring and the bed frame are going to be the two most probably expensive items that she's allocating that budget to. So I would like to see like us allocate that in other places, like the throw pillows, the rug, even just the curtains that we were talking about. That's going to make a huge difference in kind of the tonality of the new room. So let's kind of make this a little challenge and see if we can hit a target of like the $2,000, but through all the other pieces, and maybe not focus on the flooring and bed frame as just, that's the only two things that we swap. So are we going to start with maybe a color palette?
Yeah. Great idea. Okay. So we have gone for like a little bit of a neutral color palette. It is a master bedroom. It is shared by a couple too. So master bedrooms are very unique in the sense that you want to balance that feminine and masculine energy, since like it's both people's rooms. We are going to like work with a little bit of blue in this room just to kind of give it a bit more personality, but overall still keeping it a neutral palette.
Love. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So I'll kick it off maybe with what's going on the walls. So we want to draw some attention to the ceiling. Right now it's like that popcorn kind of sad looking ceiling. So let's paint it that blue that you were talking about in your palette. So we're going to put the kind of focal point up to the ceiling. It'll also make it look like a larger space. And on the walls, let's add the texture there. So we're going to go with a nice neutral looking wallpaper. It has some kind of like colors of the other palette in it as well. And that's just going to bring in some texture and variety into the space. And we're going to wallpaper all four walls.
And real quick, just to touch on the paint on the ceiling, that is such a good way to bring color into a room, but like doing it in a little bit more of a conservative way. Mm-hmm. Because I think, to paint all of the walls blue, that would be much more of a bolder statement. And we want to keep it neutral. We want to keep it calm. So doing it on the ceiling just is that like good half or sorry, good between, good like halfway, half medium. What am I trying to say? Halfway medium, between like
Halfway
overly,
point.
yeah, happy medium between super bold and then not having it at all. And another little quick tip for you guys too is when you have lower ceilings, like 8 feet, even 9 feet, these look like they're about like 8 feet, maybe a little bit over. Painting the ceiling is actually ideal because when you just have a white popcorn ceiling, it just feels really low and kind of more in your face. When you paint it, yes, you haven't changed the height, but it just makes it feel so much more intentional that it doesn't matter if it's 8 feet or 7 feet. It's just like you're now in this cool experience. And so the ceiling is no longer just sort of an afterthought. So good note on that.
Perfect. I will mention too, the wallpaper that I mentioned, it doesn't need to be crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Right. This wallpaper was in the clearance, budget friendly on wayfair.com. I believe it was like $1.25 per square foot.
Yeah.
So super cheap. You guys do not need to be going to like these massive like corporate stores and buying expensive wallpaper, because that's going to eat the budget right away. Especially if we want to do all 4 walls. So yeah, that brings the total for just the wallpaper alone to $350 for still a nice impact to warm up the space.
Yeah.
And then I'll add in as well, there's kind of a sad dated looking fan. So we are absolutely going to take advantage and go with a lovely statement light fixture that's totally going to change up the room, change up the vibe, and get rid of the datedness in that white fan.
Perfect. Yeah. Let's talk about the floor, because we know that Rachel really wanted to change out the floor, but I think like we just don't think it's worth it for $2,000. I mean, if you're going to change the floors in the whole house, that's a totally different story. But if you're just focusing on the one room, we are actually, and like we like how she did this here. She did rug over carpet. We are very pro rugs over carpets, because you can still get a totally different design element. But what we're going to do differently here is get as big of a rug that will fit in this room. I think we estimated this room to be about like roughly 10 by 12. And I think we had, I think we wanted to put in here like a 10 by 4, or no, sorry, that doesn't make sense. But we did the biggest rug that we could.
Like an 8 by 10
yeah,
or a 9 by 12 would be another option.
I think it was 9 by 12. That's what we ended up doing. So keep in mind, that's going to be a little bit more expensive, but totally worth it. And the other thing we did is we picked a tone that is very similar to the carpet, because at this point, it kind of like blends all together and just feels like one cohesive floor, rather than having something very high contrasting like she has now, which clearly is a rug over a carpet. Again, we're not against that, but it just looks more cohesive and together to pick something that's similar tones to the existing carpet. So yeah, and that came in at around like, I think it was a little bit more than the other items, but I believe the rug was
a rug usually is kind of a higher purchase point, but again, if you find something in clearance, and there's always sales going on, so you can definitely execute and find an appropriate rug.
Yeah, I think it was like 4 something, but we don't have it in this list for some reason, but all good. Okay, moving on. We also switched, the baseboard heater and the AC. Okay, let's talk about these things, because those unfortunately like are not things that can really just be removed, of course, without an extensive renovation, but they can be camouflaged. And the AC we just left because there's not really much that we can do with that, but we changed around like the window and the surrounding areas to take the focus off of this clunky AC. So we removed the curtains entirely and did a Roman shade that kind of just blends in with the wallpaper. And then we did bold artwork beside the window. So your eye goes to the artwork and then it kind of just camouflaged away the window. And then we did curtains on the other window. So normally you do curtains on both windows, right? But in this case, because we don't want to bring any more attention to the other window, we skip the curtains there. And then also too, the baseboard heater is maybe a bit of a fire hazard. So we just wanted to like leave the curtains out entirely. And then we did a flat flush baseboard heater mount. So she can just take this clunky one off and then just put this flush to the wall. And that should make a big, big difference while still not really renovating the place.
Love it. Perfect. And then I'll mention now, like where the mirror is located how it is now. It's not the right space for it. It's super close to the window. So we're going to get rid of that. That's where the artwork that Heather was just talking about is going to go. And then we want to make like the focal point more of like the bed. Like this is the statement piece in the bedroom. So we're going to swap out these kind of white, dull again looking. Like we want to stay away from a lot of white and bring in different tones. So we're going to go with new nightstands. Same on both sides with nice new light fixtures on top. We went with a darker tone, so we're going to do like a black wood finish. And we're actually going to put mirrors behind where the nightstands go as well. It's another focal point. It's different option instead of artwork. And it, again, is going to make the room appear larger. And it's going to take your eyes from like floor to ceiling. And it'll be a nice statement feature.
Yeah. On the bed, we did a little bit more of like a feminine style throw pillow, but then it's balanced with like the rug, the darker artwork, the black accents and the mirrors and whatnot. And then we did the nightstands, as Erin mentioned. We want to give you guys a tip for this. If you're going to kind of go more inexpensive on things like nightstands, which oftentimes in a bedroom, it makes sense to do. You want to put the budget in like the wallpaper and the rug and those kinds of things. Opt for nightstands that don't have any hardware on them. Because oftentimes if you go for like gold hardware or even silver, when in person, they look very yellow and it can kind of look more cheap. So we did specific nightstands that were just like wood grooves, and you'll see in this after photo. It's a way to go a little bit less expensive, still look nice and put together, but then you're avoiding that like cheap and sort of tacky looking look, if you will. And then I think that pretty much brings us, we gave her the option. So we always like to use as much existing furniture as possible. She didn't have the worst dresser. Yes, thank you. But we did give her an option to switch if she wants. But if she wants to keep this dresser in there, I think the black goes really well with the direction of this room. So if it's in good condition, she is clear to save that dresser. Let me just, there we go. And then I think that's it. Yeah. And then we just dressed up the bed. Oh, we did switch the bed frame because she also mentioned she wanted that. And the metal sort of wrought iron look didn't really go with the direction that we wanted to go in either.
Yeah.
But should we show the after?
Yeah, let's share. So if you've hung around to now, this is exactly the part. We're going to show you our transformation first, just based on all of these tips and swaps that we recommend, and then compare it to what Rachel's was. So if you guys recall, Rachel had suggested allocating her budget towards hardwood flooring and
that new bed.
And a new bed, right?
Actually, why don't we show hers first?
Sure, let's go with that. Okay. And then we estimated that her, budget point was going to be around the 2K mark as well, just based on like an LVP that we pulled off of Wayfair.com.
Yeah, so we actually, they can see now, this is what Rachel's master bedroom would look like with her desired suggestions. Yeah. And yes, so we did pull a comparable LVP. We loved the tone. It actually is not very expensive either. It's about like $1.99 per square foot, I think. But the tone is really what we wanted to like focus on here. And then we did a warmer wood bed frame to just, warm everything up. And so it looks nice. It looks clean. It looks updated. But the room still kind of looks the same. And we're really going for that transformation, not like just individual upgrades. Yeah. So that's the difference, I think, right? With like these room revamps. We want to transform the whole room. And
I'll just add, a lot of those aren't from flooring and a new bed frame, right? That's where Rachel's mind and many others might go. But it's actually from the paint, the wallpaper, the rug, the throw pillows, all of these accent things that, yes, they do add up, but there's strategic ways that you guys can source these items and put it all together and still give you that transformation that you're looking for, but still be on an appropriate budget.
Exactly. So with Rachel's carpet removal and LVP, new bed, and we gave her a new comforter as well. That came in at $1,970. And now we will show you our version of Rachel's bedroom.
And keep in mind, we want you guys to kind of see which one are you leaning towards as well.
Yeah.
Are you loving our version or Rachel's version?
Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So big difference there, right? This looks like a totally different room. And because it kind of is, right? Like we've changed so much, but we've done it a little bit more strategically, right? The bed is a little bit on the lower budget. I think it was around $300, which if it's a good quality bed, you kind of don't really need to always go more than that, right? And then you can see here, the blue really makes a big difference. The artwork beside the window really draws the eye there and not to the window with the AC. And this room of ours came in at $1,966. So pretty much the exact same budget, but completely different outcomes and different strategies. And that's what we want to teach you guys is you can have these completely different results just by being strategic in how you use them and use these products.
Exactly.
So let's
do the fun video.
Yes.
We love to take your brains back to how look existing, how it was. Remember with kind of like the gray wall, how it's going to look. Are we showing ours or Rachel's?
No,
version.
That's
Rachel's version.
So one that got added by accident. So this is Rachel's version. So it's possible that we have not added.
Well, we can show you the before and after.
Yeah,
and then you actually will have to go and see our social media where it's going to be our version of the transformation before and after video. Yeah.
We had some technical difficulties at the beginning of this show, so excuse us for not completely prepared here. So before we let you guys go, we actually are also going to talk about a really fun lifestyle segment. And of course, it's July right now, July 1st. 4th of July is coming up. So we're going to talk about Fresco Done Right, because lots of people want to dine outside and, create this experience, but we're looking at a plastic table and like some citronella candles and some folding chairs, and that is just not the vibe. But you don't need a massive budget.
No, and it's also trending right now. Like everybody's in Euro summer fun mode. And why not use that as an opportunity if you can't go to Europe, like many of us can't, bring it in your own backyard. So we're going to show you some items that give you that feel and how you can transform your own space and get that al fresco vibe.
Yeah. So we'll show you guys some of the inspiration and some of the products that we found that we are going to be building this beautiful al fresco patio with. So this is some of the inspiration. So you can see here, like a pergola changes everything, I think. Totally. Like that is the number one thing to add if you want to bring in a different vibe to your backyard.
But not just a pergola, because you want to add the greenery, the lighting, the lanterns, like all of those accessories to really jazz up the pergola and make it ultimately like an experience, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've linked all of those products there, and then just incorporating the greenery throughout. There's lovely planter options. There's olive trees, adding lemons to the table and having that as a focal point.
That's an easy one. Yeah. In terms of like outdoor kitchens and grills and stuff, I think a lot of people think that they need to like custom build something, but you really don't have to. Like you could easily purchase a barbecue and like a pizza oven and put that together and create a little kitchen. But there's also these amazing like kind of built-in pieces that are also separate, if that makes sense. And you can purchase that like unit together and it gives you that custom outdoor kitchen feel, but you don't have to renovate anything. You just plop it down and you have, and we've linked one here for you guys. It's a grill, fridge, and a pizza oven in one, which is everything that you need.
All under $6,000.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty big. Like to get a quote for doing outdoor, kind of like landscaping, it can get very, very pricey. So this is a good alternative option if you want that like amenity essentially. But like Heather's saying, it's an all-in-one. It's an appropriate amount as well. And I haven't seen many with the pizza oven option too. So that's a really good cool feature for the backyard.
I feel like pizza ovens on their own can be like $2,000. So that's awesome. Another thing too is like, I think people are afraid to add like pool loungers to their backyard if they don't have a pool. But we think that that's totally al fresco appropriate and friendly, because you do want to get like, if you're focused on the dining room or so the dining area and you're eating, maybe you do want to have like a little lounge and a cocktail and a book before or after your meal with like some shade. So just because you may not have a pool doesn't mean that you can't add a little lounge area with a nice umbrella and a little end table. It's just another place to go. It's another part of the backyard experience. And you can make a nice little lounge area for very little and not very many items. Like we have one here, an umbrella with 2 chairs and 2 end tables, done, right?
Yeah.
Like very, very simple.
Yeah. And then I'll just talk about some other elements, and then we'll show you guys the after al fresco done right. So just ensuring, like, we have linked some patio stone tile, which is kind of right on track with that vibe. But add a rug underneath your dining table too. Like that'll change up the vibe. It'll make it kind of feel like that outdoor experience as well. So we went with like this nice blue jute rug, and then paired it with like matching dinnerware as well. So there's a nice option there, still on brand. And then we did a fun bar cart right now, Aperol Spritz. All of the spritzes are such on brand for summer. So we paired that as well with just kind of incorporating it all together.
Yeah. So, yep, this is what it would look like if we used all those items and created this beautiful backyard experience.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Woo! So how beautiful, right? Like you have, I mean, this example does have a pool, but don't let that freak you out. If you don't have a pool and it's just grass, no problem. You can do your beautiful pergola with your dining setup. Then you've got your like pizza oven kitchen area, and then your little lounge area with your drink cart. Like that is a super cute backyard setup, and very, very attainable, especially in very small backyards too, which is really nice.
Exactly. And I'll even mention too, it's the accessories, honestly, that made this like the al fresco vibe.
Yeah.
So even as, you know, seasons change, you can always swap out those accents. If you watched our previous video, through like the throw pillows and all like those accents, and swap them as your seasons and events change. So that's a good way to kind of revamp your exterior spaces always as well.
Yeah, totally. So if you guys want to submit your rooms or even your lifestyle questions or suggestions, just go to our website, pinkwalldesigns.inc.com, and all the instructions are there for you. We did have some technical difficulties today. Normally you can shop along with us, but if you're watching the replay, all of this stuff is linked for you very conveniently in the description. So you can just click on that, and then literally product by product, it's all there for you to check out and learn more about. And then definitely follow us on Instagram, obviously, and our other social medias. And we're just at Pink Wall Designs on those things. And then, yeah, every other Wednesday, guys, right here, live room revamps, shop along with us. And yeah, we want to teach you and help you with your strategic swaps so you don't have to renovate or don't feel like you have to renovate.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll see you guys on the next one, our next live show with all of the kinks worked out, hopefully for the next one, so you guys can shop along. Will be on July 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will see you guys there.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.